Hi guys, Simply Naturabelle here. Welcome back to my channel, and today I have another Texture Talk Tuesday for you guys, and of course this is in collaboration with my I Am Naturabelle's page on Instagram and Facebook. So as you have already seen by the title, I am going to be discussing and doing a sort of review of the newly released movie Nappily Ever After. So if you want to hear my thoughts on this movie, just keep watching. So I'm just going to give you a general run through of the film, and I want to pinpoint on certain things that stood out to me a little later, right? Disclaimer, if you guys have not yet seen the movie, please pause this video, go watch the movie, and then come back and you can watch my review because I don't want to spoil it for anyone. Alright, so hubby and I watched this movie Nappily Ever After on Saturday night. It came out the Friday night, which was 21st, and we watched it on Saturday night, and it was, I would say, it was okay. It was an okay film. And let me just get into what it really was about. It's about a young lady who is a sort of perfectionist, and she experiences a sort of hiccup or setback in her life when her boyfriend of 2 years doesn't propose to her on her birthday. And she was really disappointed because she expected it, and she thought it was more than time enough for her to get married, and then he didn't, and that just threw her into a whirlwind of emotions, and just she started really thinking about life and what she wanted, and wonder what she's really worth and so on. And she made a really major change in her life, and that was doing the big chop, cutting off all her hair, starting over, and so she returned to her natural hair. Right, so the film is called Nappily Ever After, as I mentioned, and it's not just about natural hair. It's about a young woman's journey to self-discovery, I would say. It was a bit predictable. I have my notes. Excuse me guys, this is my first movie review, so please bear with me, but I thought it was a bit predictable. There's some scenes that involve typical dating scenes and so on. So I put it out on my I Am Naturabelle's Instagram page asking if they saw the movie as yet, and generally to give like a feedback of what they thought. And one of my followers mentioned that she liked it, but she hated all the sex scenes and so on because she watched it with her daughters. And I really agree to that as well, because it's a film about natural hair, and of course we would want to watch it with our kids. I don't have kids as yet, but if I had a kid, especially a young daughter, I would want her to watch that film with me. Right, so they could have done a little better with the sex scenes and curse words. Yeah, I thought that was unnecessary, and they could have cleaned it up just a little bit so that the kids didn't have to be exposed to that, right? So the first thing I really liked, there was an opening song, a song that opened the movie, and it was Doing Me by Ray Black, and the song is about freedom of expression in the way we wear our hair, in the way we dress and so on. And it was a really nice catchy song. I really liked it, kind of like a woman empowerment song, even though there was one line that was one of the lines said, "A short skirt doesn't mean that I want it." Yes, true, but I also believe in modesty, so that's a whole other topic, but we're not here to discuss the opening song of the show. We are here to discuss the movie, right? So I would start with the whole pool scene and so on. And Violet was the main character. That's Nappily. Her mom was really on her to not go in the pool because she had just gotten her hair pressed or straightened. Some people say straightened. She disregarded what her mother said and she jumped straight in the pool, and exactly what we knew would happen with her hair. It was just kind of like a mat on her head, which actually happens with natural hair. We understand that. Those of you who have natural hair will understand that will happen. So after her hair got messed up, the kids started making fun of her in the pool and so on, and she was embarrassed. She was really embarrassed, and her mother was also embarrassed and very upset, and that just did not turn out well, right? And also I want to talk about the little girl in the movie, Zoe, also, and what happened at the salon where Violet was making remarks about her hair, negative remarks about her hair and so on. And I think I want to focus in on that part of the movie and how, well, at least in this video, and how important it is for us to be very mindful of what we tell our children, what we show our children by our example, and how it affects them in their life. They may not show it immediately while they're younger, but it's something that can, whatever you do, can stay with them for years. And if that is a negative point of view, especially about hair, about natural hair, and that you should always have to be perfect all the time, and your hair shouldn't look like that, or if your hair looks like that, you're not beautiful. We are totally sending the wrong message, and sometimes parents may not even be aware that that is what they are doing. Some may be like Violet's mom, you know, blatant with it and just try to push that down their throats, but others are really not aware of what they are doing, because children watch everything. Children pick up the slightest remark, slightest move. They watch everything and they learn from us. And I really like that part of the movie that came out, that you know, it showed that the reason why Violet's mom was so hard on her own daughter about this natural hair and embracing it and so on, and not wanting to show it, is because she herself went through her own issues when she was younger as a natural hair girl. When the lady at the table talked about her mom not being able to control her hair or comb her hair properly or whatever it was, and how the kids used to make fun of her as well. So she herself, I guess it came down from her mother that she didn't appreciate her own hair, and then she grew up with that whole stigma against natural hair and not feeling beautiful, and then she passed on the same exact thing to her daughter. And that is, listen, that is so true, not just for natural hair, guys. That is so true for a lot of things. I don't think we even realize how much of an impact we make on the minds of children. And even the way how Violet responded to Zoe in the salon was just rude. I found it to be, it was unnecessary, right? But again, I'm not saying that they were right, but the reason why her mother behaved that way and she behaved that way towards Zoe, and how she even lived her life wanting to be perfect all the time. It's what they learn, it's what they learn, it's what they learn. And that just really stood out to me, guys. What are we teaching our daughters? What are we teaching our children? And this is not just a lesson for young girls or daughters about embracing natural hair and so on. This is also a lesson for our young boys as well, the boy children as well, because it shows what they will grow up to think about women with natural hair, women with straight hair, women with weave, women with a bald head. It will also change the way they react to women in general, especially with those with natural hair, because if they were not exposed it, if they were not told when they were younger, hey, this is my hair and my hair is beautiful just the way it is. I can do what I want with it, but this is me and this is how I am, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? I really liked how they bring it out at the very end, that yes, we can do different things with our hair, but we also must accept our hair for what it is and love it and embrace it and celebrate it. But that doesn't mean we can't have fun with our hair. That doesn't mean we can't wear wigs or weave or cut it or do a tapered cut or shave it all bald, do the big chop. It doesn't matter. It just means that we should embrace it and know that we are beautiful with our hair or without our hair, guys. That is so important, and that's one of the reasons, shameless plug, why I started the I Am Naturabelle's Natural Hair and Beauty page, right? So if you are not yet following, please be sure to go across and follow. I am sure you will be inspired from that page. I'm from the Caribbean, and I haven't really been exposed that much to that type of mother-daughter relationship when it comes to natural hair. So that's a good thing. And well, for me personally, the reason why my mom got my hair pressed or relaxed was mainly because she did not know how to handle my hair. So I think that's another thing we can also think about when it comes to mothers and their daughters and their children with natural hair. Sometimes they really may not know how to deal with it, and we just need to get them educated, right? So a person may not relax their hair or press their hair or want their hair to be straight because they don't like their hair. Sometimes it's a case where they don't understand or they don't know how to deal with the hair. So that's why we really need to educate ourselves and our children, not just how to embrace our hair and love our hair and celebrate our hair, but also on how to treat and how to take care of our hair. That's another thing that we can also put into consideration, right? In my own experience, when I did the big chop, I had to learn from scratch again, as I mentioned in my big chop story video. I had to learn from scratch, and I had no one around me really to help me with my natural hair. So I went to YouTube, and that's why I am so happy that natural hair YouTubers are becoming more and more popular, and you know, we have natural hair blogs, and people are also making their own products, which I really appreciate. That's something they mentioned at the end of the video. I really appreciated that as well. I even make my own hair care products. I will have the playlist down below so you guys can go and check it out, and we can understand that, you know, it's not as hard as some people may make it seem to deal with natural hair. It's not as difficult at the beginning. Yes, it may be because it's something new and you are learning, but once you have information, you can do so much with it, and there's so much to learn and to love about natural hair. Another thing I liked about the movie was that they show the different stages that a young lady would go through with the weave, and then she went blonde, experimenting with colors, and then she chopped off her hair, she went bald, the big chop as we all know it, and then you start to see new growth and so on. So that was really a nice element to the movie, right? So I also wanted to mention that I kind of felt like Clint was a bit hypocritical when he told Violet about, oh, she doesn't let her hair down and she doesn't have fun and she's just all trying to be perfect and stuff. One, we saw that he moved on very quickly to somebody who had long straight hair, and then even when they made back up and he was preparing to carry her to meet his parents, and then he was like, you're not leaving your hair so right, you can make it straight. And I'm like, what? That part really surprised me, and I'm like, really? That's being so hypocritical, because you just told you told the lady how, oh, you don't know anything about her and how she this, that and the other, and she always trying to be perfect. You don't just do random stuff, you're always saying you don't let your hair down, blah blah blah. And then when you need to take her to your own parents, you want her to be the exact person who you said you didn't want her to be before. I was really confused. But then when I thought about it, I also thought of maybe he was also under pressure to be perfect as well, and to have a perfect mate as well for his own parents, because that's probably how they trained him, that's how he grew up and stuff like that. Because we did see that there was the part where she was, you know, dancing and expressing herself and being free and fun and happy, that he did like it. He did enjoy seeing her, you know, have fun like that. And then even like right after, when they were talking and so on, you know, he seemed to like her, but then again, not for his parents to see her that way. He didn't want his parents to see her that way. And that was really eye-opening, because as I mentioned before, what we teach our children, male or female, boy or girl, kind of really sets the pace of how they think as adults and what they do, their belief system, how they look at others, how they treat others, and so on. So we really have to be careful about that. I wasn't too happy with the fact that Sana moved on so quickly from Will, the salon owner, and went back with Clint, the doctor. But I mean, I would not be fair if I say that and don't mention that Clint moved on very quickly. Just after him and Violet broke up, he was like, you know, already flirting and so on with another lady. So that I didn't like that at all, but sometimes those things do happen, right? Anyway, so we have to be careful as parents not to pressure our kids in terms of something we ourselves experienced when we were younger and we may not have gotten over it. So it's really important to discuss these kind of things with our children. Be open, be real. It may be hard, but it is important to have a conversation about these things, life in general, life issues in general, how we treat people, morals, values, why we do this, why we do certain things, you know, and not just try to force them into a box or force them into what we think that they should be because of whatever experiences we may have had as a parent. Not forcing your kids to be someone they are not. That is very important. So overall, the movie was okay, and I'm really glad because it really brought awareness to natural hair and you know the journey that women with natural hair go through. There's one thing though, and please people don't come for me, I love Sanaa Lathan, as I have always been a fan of Sanaa. Don't get me wrong, don't misunderstand me, but I kind of wish that they had put a young lady with a more Afro type hair texture, like 4B, 4C kind of thing. And because we would usually hear the word nappy for the girls with Afro and so on, right? Of the movie was Nappily Ever After. Kind of like I would have expected it to be, you know, someone who had a genuine Afro, like, you know, but this is not to downplay Sanaa's role and what she did. I think she did a good job with the movie and acting and so on, and I enjoyed watching her. I see Sanaa's hair as curly, very curly and so on, right? Sort of mixed and so on. I'm not saying that naturals cannot be mixed. I'm not saying that they can make a movie with her hair type, you know, to represent all natural hair girls. But I think it would be fair enough to probably maybe if they had included, like if they had used a dark skinned person, it may have opened the door for us to talk about not just hair texture or hair type, but also we could have talked about race, because that is something that is, you know, a hot topic in the US. So that would have been nice to see a different perspective. They could have had her, yes, but also probably included somebody else with, you know, an Afro hair texture to kind of incorporate different types of hair. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about that. Right? So all in all, as I said, it was a good movie, and I do have a lot more things to talk about that came out in the movie. So I may do a part 2 to this video. I did share my own picture story a few weeks ago, and I will have it listed at the top so you guys can go and check it out. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one, and stay tuned for my other episode of Text It Talks. And you can also go ahead and follow. I am Naturabelle, and also simply Naturabelle. I will have all the links for you in the description box. Did you watch the movie? What were your thoughts on the movie? And you can also let me know what you thought about what I mentioned as well. Alright, let's have the discussion below. So thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next episode of